Hi everybody. I didn't expect to make a video so soon, but something happened this morning I had to tell you about. I just, after this thing, what we've been under the last few days, you'd think there was nothing beautiful left in the world, but there is. I have to tell you this. It was so magical. I don't think I've seen anything exactly like it. I thought I was in an old-fashioned Disney movie, not the current Disney, but the old Disney. Bambi days. The original Bambi, not the evil Bambi. There was a movie like that, wasn't there? I went to the barn this morning to open up and I decided to let the Omega Rocks out, Nathaniel and Angus and their 4 girls. And I went and as I was going down there, I saw 3 deer. There was at first I didn't see one of them, but there was a little doe inside the fence around the peach tree, and there was another one just outside the fence. All she had to do was just lift herself up and she'd be over the fence. So she was right there outside the fence. And at first I didn't see him, but there was a little spiked buck hiding behind a tall bunch of, I don't know what that's called. It's a ferny-like thing that grows in the pasture. And I went down there, I said, "Hello, ladies," and I was talking to them, and they're like, "Okay, she's safe, she's okay," because, they are used to us. And one of them's getting her nice gray winter coat already. One of them still had most of her brown coat, and this one's getting grayer. They blend in better with the winter surroundings when they're grayish instead of brown. So, I talked all the way down there, and I went down, I opened the door, I went inside, and I opened up the door to Angus's pen and let them out, and they ran out in the pen, and all the deer looked up when they went out the door. They ran out the door like a bunch of elephants, and but they didn't go anywhere. And I was going to let them out into the pasture. I went, "Oh, the deer are going to run now?" So I actually walked over there to the pasture, to the gate that lets them out into the area where the peach tree is and the former garden area is. And I went ahead and carefully, as a chain link, so I was trying to make it not make noise. And they saw me doing it. And I opened the gate, and the chickens all ran out. Well, all 3 of the deer were looking at the chickens, right? And it took a minute for these boys who were really, hot to trot the first thing in the morning to really notice there were great big animals in their pasture area. And when they did, Nathaniel kind of went, kind of an alarm. And Angus was still kind of chasing one of the girls. And in a minute, he turned around and he went, "Oh, somebody's here." So I watched them. I was standing in the gateway, and I froze. I didn't move. They saw me standing there, saw me walk to it. But I kept my hands down, and I just watched. And I just watched them all. And they watched me for a second, and they went back to eating grass, including the one inside the fence. And in a minute, Nathaniel, these chickens have always alarmed and gone crazy when they saw a deer outside the fence. Well, Nathaniel started walking toward this little doe. She was facing up the hill toward him. So you've got the little doe facing me uphill, and then Nathaniel was rear to me, looking downhill, right in line with this doe. And I watched. He approached very, very casually, just one short step at a time, and she started coming to him. And I went, "Oh, what is she going to do?" I thought, "Oh, she's going to stomp him," because, the deer, they stomp with their front feet when they're in a defensive posture. So I thought, I hope she doesn't kill him. She came forward, and she's stretching her neck out, and she's looking, and Nathaniel's walking closer and closer, and Angus is off the side. He's just watching. He's like, "Okay, if he's going to get killed, let him get killed." So I don't know if that's what he was thinking, but that's the way he acted. He's the leader, but he didn't take the lead on this one. He sent out a subordinate, right? So Nathaniel, they're getting closer and closer, and I can't see exactly because I'm directly behind them. Like the doe, Nathaniel, and me, and they got closer, and she kept she stretched out her neck toward him, and he stretched out his, and I swear, I think his beak touched her nose. If not, they were within this far of each other. And she just looked at him, and he didn't make any sudden moves. I didn't make any sudden moves. By then, the little spike buck saw what his companion was doing, and he was like, he kind of froze and acted like, I gotta get ready to run, but nothing. And then all of a sudden, my girls and the 2 boys started scratching around. The doe went back to eating, and she walked forward. She was basically in the middle of my group of chickens, and I was so upset that I did not carry a camera or my cell phone out there. I had never seen anything like that. It was absolutely magical. And I thought, wow, talk about take your small pleasures where you can find them. That was amazing and surreal. And I so wish I could record it for you guys. I just don't carry things around with me all the time, unfortunately. I should, but I don't. Of course, if I had my regular landline, I could have taken a picture of that video or a picture of that anyway, which is usually what I would have if I went out somewhere on the property. But I just thought I would tell you that story. And no matter what happens, there's always magic in this world. Not like voodoo magic, but just magical, surreal, wonderful, awesome things happen. So that's what I want to tell you this morning. And that's pretty much it. That's it. So have a great day, and we'll talk later. I don't know, maybe I'll remember from now on to take my camera or at least my cell phone out there. At least it'll take a video. So catch you later, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for support on this the last video, and I would ask you, if you have not seen it, to go to the community section and read my last post if you would. Thank you. Bye.